here you are, right, the voices of leadership. You're at a campus here at college, at universities, and we talk a lot about leadership, but what is leadership really, right? Leadership, and if I asked you to call out what leadership was, you'd say a lot of things about leadership, but what leadership really is about getting results. You also hear this word a lot about authenticity, right? I gotta be my authentic self. And I love that authenticity, because what is it really? I mean, do you know that there's been 1,000 studies across academia find out if we could just find what the 7 qualities of a successful leader are, or the 5 attributes of a successful leader, and then we'll teach it and everyone can follow it and they'll be great leaders. 1,000 studies, and guess what? There's no final conclusion. You know why? Because leadership is about when you step into your authentic self. Leadership is about when you step into who you really are. Inside our organizations, part of the entrepreneurial is, how do the work that I'm doing, help my organization move forward? One of the things I learned so much from the Obama campaign, because I don't know if you all remember, in 2007, and let's wipe away however we feel about our politicians. I always say that because, that kind of brings up a lot of feelings. But when we went into the Obama campaign in early 2007, no one thought Barack Obama could win. He had less than 10% name recognition, except for some of the sister states, maybe you've heard of him, right? And he had no endorsements from any political people. And so it was a long shot. And the campaign agreed that we knew one thing, that if we could win Iowa, the first caucus state, he'd be in the game. So in 2007, everything our campaign did was about Iowa. And our campaign manager used to say every day, what are you doing, no matter what position you're in, to help us win Iowa? There's 99 counties in Iowa. Barack Obama went to every county in 2007 in Iowa. We put 250 young organizers on the ground. We put an insane amount of money there. And we kept this focus, right? Because so often a lot of times in our lives, we're doing a lot of activity, right? Activity doesn't necessarily mean we're making progress. And you have to ask the question, how am I spending my time? How is this moving us forward? And so I even myself used to go to the campaign manager because I'd get a call. I remember one example, got a call from a couple actors, Denzel Washington, and they wanted to do this event for him in New York around education policy. And I'm like, this is so cool, right? I was a little starstruck, and he should do this. He should go to New York. And Buff said, our campaign manager said, what does this have to do with winning Iowa? Nothing. So part of us, we've got to figure out, with where you want to be in the world, how do you focus your time? So on January 3rd, 2008, Barack Obama won Iowa by 9 points. And we were in the game. Because why am I telling you this story? Because as I started off my talk, leadership is about getting results. So no matter how we feel about a politician or a leader, Barack Obama got results. He won. So you have to look like, isn't it curious how we did it? It changed my life because what's your Iowa? Do you know what your Iowa is? And we women in the room, we have to learn to say no. Jim Collins, the author of Good to Great, says it's just as important to know what you're not going to do as what you are going to do. Learning to say no. And here's a trick that I've learned, which I will share with you. We as women, so often we want to be liked. So when someone says, hey, Susie, want to know, can you come to this dinner party, blah, 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 at this date? Or can you do this assignment? Or what do we all say? Of course, right? And then we get back to our office and we're like, oh my God, what did I say I would do? And is this really my Iowa? So what I do now is I've gotten very clear what matters in my life. My job at Bentley, my leadership and speaking business, and my family, not necessarily in that order. So when a request comes in, I look at the request, and the first thing I always say is, thank you for that invitation, and I get back to you. Let me check my calendar. And then you say, does this invitation, does this assignment, does this whatever it is I said yes to, does it move one of the areas of my life forward? Is it my Iowa? And then, if it's not, we call and say, thank you so much for that invitation, but I have a schedule conflict. Leadership creates a feeling. And, we forget we're human beings first. And what motivates us is our feelings. Because when we feel valued and included and part of something bigger than ourselves and heard, we do our best work, right? We engage and we are our most productive. What happens when we don't feel that? Right? We don't do our best. We don't go the extra mile. You have to ask yourself, right? How am I showing up where I'm at? How am I treating the people around us? Every one of us has a reservoir of goodwill. And my little one always says, it's like putting stars in a bucket. If we get off our computers and we talk to people and we tell people, wow, that was a great job you did on that assignment, or I'm so lucky to be one of your colleagues, right? That's putting stars in the bucket. When we have a high reservoir of goodwill is when people will go the extra mile for us.